Stampin' Up! Offers a lot of 6x6 papers. These are designer series papers, DSPs, and today I am going to be creating with the Country Woods paper from Stampin' Up! This does come in 12x12 paper, but I have cut it down to the 6x6 so that you can see how to use 6x6 papers on your 12x12 layouts. I love the wood grain of these papers. I picked out two different sheets of paper, so these are the same one. This is the back side of it. It is double-sided, and then this is the same paper. This is the reverse side. And there's so many different wood grains in this kit. They have some blue, they have some that looks like paint was chipped off, like so many good papers. But for today, I chose these ones just for the coloring, and I thought the wood grain would go perfectly with my pictures. Today, I am documenting some photos of my husband and I. We went out to the farm and shot some guns. It was a good time. And then I found a trike in the garage, so of course I had to take it for a spin. It even had, let's see if I can grab this one again. It even had little steps on the back of it, so I could have taken my husband on the back with me. So let's go ahead and clear this up. I am creating a double page layout. So I'll grab two of my Versamats and we'll get started. I am going to be starting on some white daisy cardstock. And I like to just tack that down on my Versamat. I liked how these papers coordinated with my pictures. So this one has that gray and kind of charcoal color wood grain. And I thought that went nicely with my husband's shirt. And then this one has some gray as well. And then it has kind of this tan orange wood grain to it. So I thought that went nicely with my shirt. And then the reverse sides are the super dark one, which I think it's a little too dark for my photo. So I don't know that I'll use this side. But this side has some of those creams, which kind of match the silo. And then that gray again, which again matches my husband's shirt and kind of this silo over here. So this is kind of the color palette I'm going for. I was playing around with some Bluebird cardstock, so that's what you're seeing on the layout here, but I actually don't end up doing anything with that, so don't mind that. But I am going to cut these 6x6 papers down even smaller to 3x3s. I've kept these two together. I didn't cut them apart like I normally would, and I matted them with pewter paper, and then I matted all of the photos with pewter. And what I'm thinking is I cut down those 6x6 papers to 3x3s. And I'm thinking of doing kind of like an angle going down and back up, maybe back down here. So I'm just going to start laying those out. Yes, that was a little gnat on my page, and I was really trying not to smear its guts all over my scrapbook layout. I'm going to go around each 3x3 with my charcoal ink. While I'm going around these edges, I thought I'd take some time to introduce myself. I am Cami with Crafting with Cami, so welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I do all things scrapbooking and once in a while card making. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so the papers I am using right now are from Stampin' Up! I will have it linked in the description box below if you're interested in purchasing it for your own use. Here's how I've placed those 3x3 squares, and I just kind of placed them randomly, and I kept bringing my photos in to see what position would look best. So I'm going to put my photos here on the left-hand side, and then like this on the right-hand side, and I'm centering this middle photo with the center of this photo. And then this one I'm going to have kind of off to the side. I do want a place for journaling, so I have this little journaling box from the Enjoy the Ride collection, and it has some of that limeade for the lines, and limeade will look nice with the grass, so I might bring that in with some of my embellishments. But I thought I could just tuck this in right here to fill in that empty space, and then I can do my journaling here, and then maybe have an embellishment cluster here or off to the side of the journaling or something like that. So this is going to be my base of my layout. I've cut out a few Cricut cuts So I did this little windmill on the Cricut, and then a little barn. If you recognize these are from the Close to My Heart collection. And then some of these clouds, which I did some inking around them with some bluebirds. So I just took one of my little foam brushes and went around the edges. And those were right behind here. And then I did some grass, and I did some in acorn and in jade. So I thought I could layer them and kind of have some browner, deader grass back behind. And then I cut two so that it could go all the way across. So we'll kind of play around with that. Now is when I wish I could get your guys' opinions. So Cricut doesn't cut exactly to 12 inches. So this is actually like about 11 and a quarter inches long. So I could put the grass down at the bottom here and kind of brace that windmill. Or I could bring it up here and kind of give my photos a resting spot. I could cut something else to go down here, like a fence or something. I like it up here. If I have this barn up top, it kind of gives my barn and this photo a resting spot. But I don't want one down at the bottom and one up at the top. I think that looks silly. So if I did it here and here, it would continue on each side. But then my barn is kind of floating up here. So then do I bring the barn down and maybe do another cluster up top? I might be able to do some more clouds and kind of have those. And create a little scene. I think I prefer the grass down at the bottom. It doesn't take away from my photos as much. So we're gonna go down here, and I'm going to line up the center like this, go all the way to the edge of the paper, and then I'll just have, about an inch on either side. I am using my Barely Art Glue. This video is a collaboration with the Inspiration Collaboration team. Our challenge was to take 6x6 paper and create a 12x12 scrapbook layout with that. Stampin' Up! Offers a lot of 6x6 designer series papers, and this is a designer series paper, but it did come in the 12x12. So I had cut it down to show you guys how you could take those 6x6 papers and create a 12x12 layout with them. So I will have the playlist linked in the description box below and at the end of this video. And I would love for you to go over to the other ladies' channels and see what they created with 6x6 paper. I got the grass adhered down. I didn't adhere each strand of grass. I just put glue at the base. So the top of the grass is kind of elevated. It has some movement. And then I'm using my tape runner on the back of these clouds. Yes, I'm using my ATG runner this time. I've had this in my collection for quite some time, but you usually see me use my smaller tape runner. It's just easier on camera and when I'm filming. But yep, today I whipped out the big ATG gun. If I'm scrapbooking guns, I might as well use my tape gun too, right? I'm bringing in the Good Life stamp set from Close to My Heart, and I'm going to stamp a couple of these fences in toffee. I don't have acorn ink, but toffee ink will tie in nicely with this acorn paper. I stamped in thin cut this little fence, and I'm thinking if I overlap my picture just a little bit with this barn and then have this one kind of coming out, I could even pop that up on 3D foam tape. And then I might do some ink blending in the background. And I'm bringing in some scratch paper. And now we hold our breath because I don't want to mess up this entire layout. Everything's adhered. So we want to tap off, and then we're just going to go very lightly. So I'm just going to start kind of over here. And look at how much is already coming off of my brush, and I brushed it off. I kind of rubbed already there. I don't want to get any on that tag, but I do want to go right up to it. I can always add more. And that just adds that perfect little glow behind there. I've laid out some word sentiments, so enjoy the view, because to me there's no better view than the wide open. Living the good life. Life is made up of moments, or life is made of moments. And then this life is blessed. So I'm not sure if this is where I want the sentiments. I could bring one over here, or maybe do this life is blessed here, and then live in the good life up here. And then life is made of moments. Enjoy the view. I kind of like enjoy the view here. I think it fits nicely into this corner. We could do a larger one down here and then the smaller one up top. Do we want it like that? Or I could bring it down here and then kind of have this going, which I think that accents what we did with the 3x3 papers. So let's have it go this way. I want to bring in more charcoal because that's what I outlined each of these squares with, and then also it matches that pewter. I want to bring in more toffee. That's what I brought in for my embellishments. And then I want to bring in more bluebird because, again, of my embellishments. I think it'd be nice to have more blue in this section since we have a lot of blue over here. We have the blue ink behind here. So let's do this one in charcoal and this one in bluebird. And then over here, we have the toffee here. So maybe we should bring toffee up here and then charcoal down here. I'm going to flip my Versamats over so I have the foam to stamp with. I have my charcoal ink and enjoy the view. I'm going to bring that scratch paper back in. I don't want to mess this up. My layout is almost done and I don't want to risk not getting a good impression and ruining my layout. So we're just going to test it here. And there we go. I've cut out this, love this little tag thing. And I thought that'd look good maybe somewhere over here, because I love this. This is one of our favorite hobbies to do. Here is that finished layout. So we have some Cricut cuts here. We've used only 6x6 papers for our pattern paper, and we cut those down to 3-inch squares, and then I kind of did a pattern going down and back up. Some stamped image, some stamped sentiments. Let's take a closer look here. I love how I added the blue inking on the clouds. It just adds a little more dimension, and the grass adds a ton of dimension down there. Don't forget, this is a collaboration video, so the playlist will be linked in the description box below. Be sure to head over and see how the other ladies took 6x6 paper and created a 12x12 layout. I hope this video brought you inspiration. If it did, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already a subscriber, I'd love to have you join us. And until next time, live a life worth scrapping. Bye, guys.